All right, happy 15th everyone. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my first truck that I ever had and possibly my next project. My very first truck was a 1985 Chevy Silverado two-wheel drive long bed pickup truck. It is not much to look at now, but whenever I first got this truck, it was a killer, man. This thing was clean. My big brother Neil found it for me up in North Alabama. Mileage is of course unknown. It has a 305 V8. It was awesome. I drove the truck all the way up through high school, up until my transmission went out where it was parked. A few years into Tiffany and I dating, her dad and I went and picked it up. So the truck doesn't have a title. It currently doesn't go into gear, but you check this clip out. A little fresh gas. She runs like brand new. Maybe not brand new. I don't really know what the plan is on this truck. I know it was something I'd always meant to get to, but the longer it sits, the longer, these things start to deteriorate. So it's one of those things where I'm gonna have to go ahead and get on it, man. But with that said, the way you're seeing the truck now is not always how it was. It was super clean when I got it. It of course had been repainted back then, or who knows, maybe I got the goggles on, maybe it just looked super clean to me because it was my first truck and I was so excited about it. You've probably seen the steering wheel at this point. I was super into JDM cars, obviously, from the other car on my channel here that I've worked on. It had the furry dash. It kinda had air conditioning, but it didn't work that well. Back in the day when I was 16 years old, and a lot of my buddies weren't allowed to make the trek to, I grew up in the country. Mobile was like an hour and a half away, so a lot of my buddies weren't allowed to drive that far or take their vehicles. And then here comes me, 16 years old, and my old clunky Chevrolet would load up my buddies, 3-4 buddies in the single cab truck, and we'd take off, go to some food, go see a movie. At the age of 16, I have a lot of good memories in this truck, and I really hope that I can get it running well again and make some more maybe. I remember it never downshifted whenever you punched it, say to pass someone, like your passing gear. So I would grab that gear shift and I would knock it down into second if I needed to pass somebody. And that bit me in the butt one day passing a log truck in about Tibby, Alabama, where I slung the belts. Yeah, this guy's 3 main drive belts on it. And luckily a friend of mine's dad was sitting outside his house, and I just rolled in there with the truck running but just not doing anything. And I believe he took the belt off my air conditioning and put it around my water pump just so I would be able to get the truck home. But another cool story, my water pump went out and I was able during school to grab a buddy while classes were going on. I don't remember how we got out of this, but we went down and changed a water pump on my truck outside of our home ec shop. So it was crazy, man. It was a different time when I was in high school. Everybody left their keys in their vehicles. You could leave your windows down. I did that multiple times. But the fact that this truck is a long wheelbase, just the hauling potential is next level. So I don't know if this truck will ever be like a take on a road trip somewhere kind of setup, but to run down to the store to pick up some boards or haul something here or there, I think it'll be a fun little project. So this is going to be a slow one. It's not going to be quite as quick as the 3000 GT, but this is gonna be one of those projects I'm gonna get started on, and then yeah, maybe turn it into something pretty cool. I'm gonna have to find a new hood for it, because the one of these last hurricanes we had, we had a tree fall over out behind my in-laws' house and just clipped the hood of the truck and the edge of the fender, which you can see in some of these clips. Outside of a new hood and a transmission, of course, it will not go into gear, but gonna get that transmission back in there or rebuilt. It's gonna be a good, fun opportunity to try to get into another transmission. You know, it really wasn't a whole lot to the 3000 GT transmission. Of course, it was a manual 5-speed, and this is a 3-speed automatic. But I'd really hope to go with a fuel injected setup, maybe do a newer like Vortec motor and transmission in this rig, but I don't know, it just really runs so well with this old carbureted motor. I'm probably gonna roll with that for a while. I remember this truck got horrible gas mileage, but that didn't really matter to me back then. I had a pretty sweet stereo setup. Had a Pioneer head unit, and I think it was golly, what was it? 3x9s, just very long, skinny Pioneer speakers in the corners of the cab, which I always thought sounded super good. But who knows, man? Back then I was so happy to be driving something. I don't really remember if it actually sounded good or if I just made myself believe it sounded good. But man, went on a lot of dates in that truck. Man, such a good ride, and I believe it'll be a good ride again. So my first steps are, I gotta get some tires on it that'll hold some air, which I have some tires. I just maybe need to find some 17-inch wheels for it. Then I gotta find a hood, and then I have to pull the transmission. And you can see here in this clip, we had to pull the steering wheel off, which I put the stock steering wheel back on. We actually lost the keys for it, so we had to pull the ignition out and put a whole new ignition in it. But it is running now. I'm gonna have to put a gas tank in it. I remember when I was 16 years old, it leaking gas under the truck, and I couldn't find anywhere that was a point of leaking. It seemed like it was just seeping through the bottom of the gas tank, so I got about 5 tubes of JB Weld and just coated the bottom of it. So really gonna need some fresh gas in there. Stay tuned. Let me know what you would do with this truck in the comments. If you think it's worth it, what type of wheels you would go with. Should I make this thing a lowrider? I got a good idea from a buddy of mine to maybe turn it into like a shop truck. Put like Jones Racing or something on the side. Make it seem like an old school shop truck. And I've always been into lowriders, but I don't know. We'll see. The possibilities are endless. Outside of the cracked up hood, the body's still in pretty good shape, I think. And who knows? Maybe this will just be what I test my my paint skills, my bodywork skills. Maybe a little bit before I get to making more videos on this particular truck, but just know that it's in the process. And I'll see you on the first.